another edition of The Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and joined by Mark Olmos. Mark, 9 races to take a look at. Some smallish fields, but there's some good depth later on in the card.
Yeah, the most intriguing for me is the 3-year-old race to start off with and the 2-year-old races after that.
It's going to be a very intriguing day, and I think if you can find some winners, you will end up on top. So nice each-way prices throughout the card. Let's take a look at the conditions that we are going to be faced with. The Mooble Rail is out 15 metres with a cutaway in the straight as well, 212 metres down the straight. Some good conditions for racing, as you can see on your screen. We should be running on a good 3 as well. Let's take a look at race number 1. It does commence at 1:05. It's over the 1200 metres, 7 runners to take a look at. But there's a handful that are pretty good in this race.
Absolutely. Détente's coming off a nice last start win and got the Cerise and White, but we'll go back and have a look at that win of Détente.
Yeah, luck followed by El Wadi. Impressive Image still well back. 300 left to travel though. Boss Striker grabbed in here at the Magic. Détente claimed them both. Warbow and Grotto wanting to run about pretty green, but Détente now burst to the front with 100 metres left to travel from Warbow and Grotto, and Détente's going to crack it. Détente beat Warbow and Grotto.
It was a really good win by Détente. It really started to wear punters down there with a consistency that had been there, but lucky number 6 it was eventually in the end. This is a big question mark though. This is a step up in a big time where we've gone through some of those form lines, and I don't know how strong that form is that Détente did win last up, but we know that from the form lines before with Corvara and just that natural, this horse can mix it, but Cool Image, Pinzu and Pix Pride, this is a much better bunch that it's racing against.
Yeah, we said last start that it ran into a much easier field, but this one's much more handy. Like you mentioned, Adam, we've got the likes of Cool Image for the Peters colours and Pinzu as well for Adam Durant, Peter Nucky to ride.
Cool Image was a lot better than I thought it would be. I remember on that day we discussed the trial and how Paddy actually beat it by 3 lengths, and this one was $2 and Paddy was $10 and how it worked out. But attacked the line strongly on that occasion and finished third. Has to carry the 58.5 kilos, so that's a bit of a knock for me again here. I don't think he's as good as people may have thought he's been. I can definitely see him running in the 4 here, but I think that the race is going to be very hard. Pinzu's the one for mine. This is a quality galloper. You take a look at the form lines. Second behind 3 Votes, which was absolutely smashing everything it came up against. Yoshi Noxus, which we know is placed in listed races as well. And then was a winner at Bunbury beating First Impressions, where we see what that horse has gone on to do as well. The recent trial was really good. I'm feeling lucky put in a really good performance on Saturday as well, and it finished behind that in the trial. So that is the way that I'm going to be tipping here for race number 1. Number 2, Pinzu on top from 4, Fry's Gift. Number 1, Cool Image, and 6, Détente.
Adam, I'm sticking with Détente on top. Number 6 from 3 Pix Pride, 2 Pinzu and 4 Fry's Gift.
Race number 2, it is Perth. At race number 5 for our Singapore viewers, it's the Amelia Park Plate over the 1200 metres. A couple of newbies in this race and a little bit of racing form to analyse as well. One of them a winner in Want of Desire.
Yeah, nice type, Adam. This race has been knocked about by the scratching of Fry's Assassin, but we'll go and have a look at that impressive win of Wanted Desire.
300 metre mark. Over on the outside, Wanted Desire moved up, hit the front from Mylena. 3 or 4 lengths behind them is Ponderosa. Rising Sea starts to give chase to them at the 200 metre mark, and Wanted Desire is the leader from Mylena. Here comes Rising Sea with a late run though. Wanted Desire, Rising Sea gunning it down, the post looming. Wanted Desire won. Wanted Desire.
It's a really good performance there by the filly by Wanted. She has been a little bit of a handful. She's got a bit of an attitude this one, but you like that with your fillies as well. Really good performance on debut. Caught wide and was able to attack the line still strongly. Big positive here. William Pite takes a ride. Barrier 10 into barrier 4, 55 kilos. I think she's the one to beat again.
I liked how Kyra Yule rode her last start, Adam. Popped her off when she wanted to run, which was at about the 500, and was happy to sit deep, and she was just too strong for him. We've also got in this race Bronze Lightning for Trevor Andrews and Joseph as a party. First start was okay behind Wanted Desire.
Yeah, well, you've got Bronze Lightning and also Minority Blonde coming from that race. Bronze Lightning was a really good run, as you mentioned. I like what it did late. Gets a 1 kilo swing as well, and it wasn't really clear for a lot of the running down the straight. The big improver for mine, and the one that could beat Wanted Desire, is Minority Blonde. Drawn in barrier 11, which isn't ideal, but 54 kilos, nice, gets that kilo swing. Lost the length at the start and snuck up on the inside, but I know they have a really good opinion of this filly, so I think she can be the one that certainly causes a bit of an upset in this race. We'll take a look at the selections though, and I am going to stay with number 9, Wanted Desire, from 10, Minority Blonde, number 2, Bronze Lightning, and 5, Red Comet.
Yes, Adam, I'm going to go with number 9, Wanted Desire, from 4, Luna Rossa, 11, Enchanted Dream, and 10, Minority Blonde.
Race number 3, it is Perth. Race number 6 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1200 metres. And there's some race experience here, but the trial form of a couple, I speak of Oliver's Travel and Pickup Line, are very, very impressive.
Yeah, there's 7 first starters in this race, Adam. We'll have a look at the last start run of My Journey.
Them the slip at the 300 on straightening, led 2 lengths. Here's Friar's Assassin, though, the debutant. It's starting to run right over the top of Ryama. Ryama with 150 to go. Friar's Assassin draws level with it. Then My Journey, Kawaja running on, but Friar's Assassin doing a bit better than them. And Friar's Assassin first up at the 1400, beat Ryama.
It was a fair performance there by My Journey. Again, I'm not sure how strong those form lines are behind Friar's Assassin. I think if Friar's Assassin had a race in the race forward, would have been really caught out over 1,200 metres in this field as well. So My Journey, as I said, quite unsure. The run behind Ellen's Choice was beaten 8 lengths, beaten 1.5 last start from a really good barrier too. As I said, there are some really handy types in this race. The bonus might be the speed that goes in this race. I think it'll be run at a really good tempo, and My Journey should be able to attack the line strongly, but just hasn't shown enough so far for me to be confident.
Yeah, with Ryama coming out as well, Adam, this field lacks a little bit, but we've also got God I Love You, who was 6.8 lengths behind Saul Special last start, but that form has to be considered, considering it is one of the Karrakatta Plate favourites.
Yeah, it is really good form, but again, question marks on whether this galloper quite has it. I mean, the form lines are fair behind Our Time Will Come, 4 lengths. 2 lengths behind Spangled Impact is good, and as you mentioned, the run behind Saul Special. Again, the one big bonus with this horse that I think will bring it into contention is the speed. As I said, that trial speed with Pickup Line, also Cannellini going forward as well. I think this horse can run into it and has that turn of foot, which is a positive for the 2-year-olds.
We've also got Oliver's Travel, Adam, who's been trialling quite well. This is his first race start.
Yeah, this horse comes from the same stable as Stan Bates, and I talked to Stan about this horse and Friar's Assassin, and Oliver's Travels, he said, just absolutely blitzes that horse, and I think that's pretty evident from the trials as well. Just looms into the races so nicely, and with the speed, I think this horse is the one to beat from barrier 2, and that is the way that I am going to be tipping. Number 5, Oliver's Travels on top. From number 6, Pickup Line. Number 3, Rising Sea, and 11, Queen's Parade.
I've got the 2, God I Love You, on top of 5, Oliver's Dream, 4, My Journey, and 3, Rising Sea.
Race 4 is Perth race number 7 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,400 metres. It's just the 8 runners to take a look at here, and not a lot of depth in the race.
No, Adam, we've seen stronger races, but we will have a look at the 2 starts ago of Excuse Me Mac when finishing half a length behind Face Facts.
To the middle, a length and a half supposition, then Festive Excess, but it's Face Facts nearing the 200 clear. Shaken up in front, led the way from Devotive, who's down on the inside. Supposition running on with Excuse Me Mac. It's still Face Facts in front with Supposition gunning it down on the outside. It dived at Face.
It was a good run by Excuse Me Mac on that occasion. Again, the form lines, Face Facts. Don't know how many more races that horse is going to win with the lightweight as well. Gets a 2 kilo claim here, so they're 56 kilos, but it's had 3 runs at Ascot, never placed, and hasn't won for 265 days either. But the last run behind Sasso Circus, beaten 3 lengths, which is one of my better bets of the day, coming up later in the card, may be reasonable in this type of field.
Yeah, Star Bay, the Entire by Sebring, needs his step down in Class 2, I think.
Yeah, well, Star Bay, for mine, is the best horse in this field by a long way, but we haven't seen that form this campaign. The first up run was really good behind Flying Image. Since then, been beaten 8 lengths, 4 lengths, and 8.8. This horse is a much better animal than that. So the 2 kilo claim here just means the 54.5, and from barrier 4 should get a really nice run. Just going on its top end form. If it brings its A game, it wins this and wins it very easily. But as I said, it needs to improve.
We've also got number 8, Bachelor's Prospect. Has been thereabouts in Class 3 company in the provincial circuit.
I thought Richie Bell called this really well the other day and just said this horse, again, had its opportunity but doesn't want it. It had the perfect run. So many times I've seen Bachelor's Prospect loom up, look to be the winner 200 out and then go, no, I don't want a bar of it. And for mine, again, with Star Bay, I think it's the best horse in the race. But that lack of ability to try and want to win for mine deterred. But it does have a good track and distance record. But it is in my selections, and we'll take a look at it now. I'm going to go with number 6, Star Bay, from 8, Bachelor's Prospect, number 1, Excuse Me Mac, and 2, Flying Image.
I'm going with the 1 on top, Adam. Excuse Me Mac, from 2, Flying Image, 8, Bachelor's Prospect, and 6, Star Bay.